Hello everyone, welcome back to another lesson of constructing Arabic sentences. This is lesson number 11. In today's lesson we're going to talk about possession and how to say possessions. But before that, I want to draw your attention to an error that I did in the last video where I've actually mixed up the word هناك. Instead of saying that hunaka means there, I said that hunaka means here, and that's a mistake, okay, on my behalf, and I have to correct it. So hunaka means there. Hunaka means there. I've already annotated the previous lesson, just in case you did not see that annotation. I had to say it in this lesson. Okay, so today's lesson, we're talking about possession. Okay, how do we say that someone possesses something? Okay, possession, something is mine, my book, your book, his book, my money. Okay, give me my money, and so on. So stuff that are useful, and basically this topic is never in grammar in one place. You have to go all around to get it. So basically there's also a big difference in how Arabic grammar and English grammar functions. So where I'm going to have to touch several grammar issues just to introduce how do I say my book or something belongs to someone. Okay, so bear with me. First, we're going to talk about personal pronouns. Okay, in Arabic, personal pronouns are categorized, and we have a lot of pronouns. In English, you have what, 5, 6? 6. I, he, she, it, you, and they, right? But in Arabic, we actually categorize them according to who does the pronoun refers to. Also, we have two types of pronouns. We have something called disjointed or separate pronoun, or if you want, you can call it independent pronoun. Okay, it's a word on its own, and we call that word is categorized as a pronoun. Or we have pronouns that are attached to other word, and that's why we call them muttasila, means something that is linked or joined to a word. Okay, and then if I'm going to talk about personal pronouns, I have to introduce pronouns in Arabic, and then I'm going to talk about personal adjectives in English, and that will give me another topic to talk about, and they are also pronouns but attached, and also another way of representing possessive adjectives, and that's using al-mudaf and mudaf ilayh, which is a topic that really is not there in English. And then I'm going to talk about possessive pronouns, which basically means I'm going to teach you how to say something is mine, something is his, something is yours, okay, in Arabic. So let's start with personal pronouns. We're not gonna use them in examples here, but I just have to tell you about the pronouns and what are they in Arabic. So الضمائر المنفصلة, disjointed, separate, or if you want to call them independent pronouns. So they are pronouns that refer to people, and in Arabic they're categorized under three main categories. The first one is ضمائر المتكلم, meaning pronouns that refer to the person who is speaking, and that's the first person. So basically I or we. And then we have ضمائر المخاطب, which means pronouns that is for the person who's been spoken to. And in this case, in English, you have you, but in Arabic, we have 5 of them, okay, depending on the gender and number. And then you have ضمائر الغائب. ضمائر الغائب. Okay. الغائب in Arabic means someone who's absent. So these are pronouns for the person that is absent from the conversation. Okay, so me and you talking about a third person, right? So the third person pronoun. ضمائر الغائب. Okay. If you haven't figured it out by now, the word ضمير in Arabic means conscience, but this also means pronoun. Okay? ضمير. Okay? And the plural of ضمير is ضمائر. 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 Okay? So ضمائر المتكلم, first person pronoun, would be in Arabic either أنا or نحن. أنا, نحن. أنا means I, نحن means we. Okay? Very simple. Now, when it comes to ضمائر المخاطب, we have 5 of them. أنت, أنت, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. And before someone says, where are علامات التشكيل? I can't read this. Okay. So, أنت, أنتِ, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. Okay? أنت means you, but if I'm talking to masculine singular person, feminine singular, I say أنتِ. Dual, I would say أنتما. Plural, masculine or mixed, I would say أنتم. Plural, feminine, I'd say أنتن. أنت, أنتِ, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. Notice that pronouns, these pronouns in Arabic, never change علامات التشكيل. Okay? Wherever they are in the sentence, أنا is always أنا. أنت is always أنت. أنتِ is always أنتِ. So basically, when you read them without علامات التشكيل, you would know. Basically, if you see أنت without علامات التشكيل, if they don't add كسرة, it means أنت. Okay? If they do add كسرة, it's just to let you know that this is أنتِ and not أنت. The others are always read the same. أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. And thus, when they are written in text, you really don't have to add علامة التشكيل because everyone knows that's the way you pronounce them. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the third person pronouns, which are categorized under ضمائر الغائب in Arabic. And let's start with he. He in Arabic, هو. she, هي. They, we have 3 words for they because we have the dual form and we have the plural form, but one time for all feminine and one time for mixed or all males. هما, هم, هن. Okay? هو, he, هي, she, هما, they, but for dual, and here hum for plural masculine or mixed, and then hunna for plural feminine. Okay, so I'm gonna read them one more time. أنا means I, نحن we, أنت you, أنتِ you, أنتما you, أنتم you, أنتن you. This does make English fairly much easier than Arabic. Anyway, so he, هو, she, هي, they, هما, هم, هن. Okay? Okay, so why am I talking about personal pronouns? Because these pronouns have another form in Arabic, and they are the attached forms, and we use these pronouns as possessive adjectives, but in Arabic they're not considered adjectives like in English. So if I want to say my book, I have to find the adjective in Arabic that refers to me, I, or أنا, which is in the form of an attached adjective or ضمير متصل. الضمائر المتصلة. Okay, ضمير متصل means an attached pronoun. Anyway, so if I want to say my book, I say كتابية. So this is what I mean by attached pronoun. They are a suffix. You take a word. If you want this word to be yours, meaning my word or my book, you have to take it and attach to it a pronoun that refers to you. Okay? Or to him, or to me, or to whoever you're speaking about. So, saying my book in Arabic is كتابية. You add kasra at the ending letter of the original word and you add ya. كتابية. كتابية. Okay? If you're stopping, sometimes you hear it كتابي. كتابي. Okay? So either you hear it كتابي or كتابية. Okay? Now, if I'm going to talk about our book, I would say كتابنا. So the suffix in this word is the na. Na, if you remember, نحن, na. So this is the noon for us, we. Okay, كتابنا. كتابنا. Our book. كتابنا. If I'm gonna say your book, well, there are 5 because we have 5 pronouns for you, right? So expect 5 different suffix. Starting with your book, talking about a person who's male, singular, I would tell him your book. I'd say كتابك. كتابك. Okay? I'm talking to a girl, I'd say kitabuki. Kitabuki. If I'm talking to a dual, meaning two people, I'd say kitabu kuma. Kitabu kuma. Three or more, depending on their gender, I'd say either kitabu kum or kitabu kun. كتابي كتابنا كتابك كتابك كتابكما كتابكم كتابكن. Okay, now this is for plural mixed gender or masculine. This is for plural feminine. Okay, كتابك كتابك كتابكما كتابكم كتابكن. Notice one thing: whenever we're talking about you, your, the pronoun that is attached to the word starts with a ka. In all the cases, ka, and then it goes ka, ki, kuma, kum, kunna. Kitabuka, your book. Kitabuki, your book, but for feminine. Kitabuka for masculine singular. Kitabuki, feminine singular. Kitabukuma, dual. Kitabukum for three or more, feminine, masculine or mixed. Kitabukun for only females. Okay. So now you've noticed we have ka, ki, ku, ma, kum, kunna. They all start with ka. This might make it easier for you when you're talking about the third person pronoun. So his book, her book, their book. Okay, so if I follow the same example, well, it's not exactly 100% the same, but it's very similar. So I'm going to start with kitab. If I want to say his book, I say kitabuhu. Kitabuhu. Okay? If I want to say her book, I say kitabuha. If I'm going to say their book, and I'm talking about two people, I say kitabuhuma. Kitabuhuma. Notice I'm starting with ha, in all of these suffix, all of these attached pronouns. Now if I'm going to say there, but for three or more, kitabuhum. Here's kum, and for there is hum, kitabuhum. If they're all females, kitabuhun. Kitabuhun. Okay? Kitabuhu, his book. Kitabuha, her book. Kitabuhuma, their book, but for dual. Kitabuhum, three or more people, masculine or mixed. Kitabuhun, three or more people, they're all feminine, females, right? So, last thing, quick review. My book, or anything that belongs to me, I'll add ye to it. So let's say I want to say my money. Okay, my money, you just first need the word for money in Arabic. So one word for money is nuqud. Okay, and that will be nuqudi. Nuqudi, nuqudia. or نقودي, my money. Okay, again, كتابي, كتابنا, our book, كتابك, your book, كتابك, your book, كتابكما, your book, كتابكم, your book, كتابكن, your book. They're all your book, but depends on who are you talking about, or who are you talking to. And then you have his book, كتابه, her book, كتابها, your book. If they're dual, you say كتابهما. Your book, if you're talking to three or more, mixed or just males, you say كتابهم, كتابهم. And then if you're talking to females, you'd say كتابهن, كتابهن. So notice kum, hum, kunna, hunna. Okay, so maybe these few indicators will help you remember. So this is how to say my book, our book, your book. So how about saying this book is someone's and I want to mention him by name, right? So in English you do that by adding an apostrophe with an S, but in Arabic we have another structure that we call it al-mudaf and al-mudafu ilayhi. If I literally translate that, it means someone who is added and someone and something that is added to that thing or someone. It's much more confusing in English. Okay, but mudaf, okay, and mudafu ilayhi, added to him, okay, or to it. So if I want to say Adil's book, or in this case this is an Arabic name, Adil, okay, Adil. So if I want to say Adil's book, the way we do it in Arabic, okay, is that you say the first the person or someone that you want to attach a possession to, and then the second word you just mention it there. Usually if you're talking about a specific thing, like a specific book, and that's for us when you're using apostrophe, it's what you're doing. You're talking about Adil's book, it's a specific book, so you have to add al. Okay, oh sorry, this is about something else. Okay, never mind that, I'll redo this. So if you're going to say kitabu, Adil's book, you say in Arabic kitabu Adil. Okay, so first in Arabic we mention the possession, and then we mention who this possession is for. Okay, so this is mudaf and this is called al-mudafu ilayhi. Okay, now al-mudafu ilayhi, which is the second word, or the person who owns or takes the possession, has to be usually, not has to be, but if you're going to translate something with apostrophe, with the apostrophe s, this thing is usually defined. It's someone who's defined. So Adil is a defined noun in Arabic. Okay, and it might not be apparent here. There's a second rule. So if I translate the next sentence, and that sentence says today's lesson. Okay, today's lesson. Today, يوم. Lesson, درس. Okay, here's what happened. I want to say today's lesson. So I'm adding a lesson to the list of possessions of today. So first I write يوم, which means today. And then in front of it, I would write lesson. Okay? So lesson in Arabic is ders. Then the second word, since we're talking about today's lesson, then this day is specific. So I have to add al. The other thing, المضاف إليه, normally ends with كسرة. So I have to say اليومي. So درس اليومي. درس اليوم. درس اليومي. I could not do it on the first example for a grammatical exception that I'm not going to talk about here, okay? But usually if you're adding a possession to something and that thing is not a name, a person's name, okay, this is the easiest way to say it. Although that might be false because it's very generic, but anyway, this might be apparent with one more example. So I have, again, let me get some space to write on. If I want to say the mouse's tail, or mouse's tail, so it's the tail of a mouse. It's not any mouse, it's a specific mouse I'm talking about, mouse's tail. So first, if I'm gonna mention the mouse in Arabic is far, and I'm talking about his tail or its tail, then I'll add before far the word for tail in Arabic, and one word could be ذيل. So to attach or to give the tail to the mouse and say that this is its tail, we do two things. Since we're talking about a specific mouse, we add al, and second thing, we add kasra. ذيل الفأر. ذيل الفأر. Okay? ذيل الفأر, the mouse's tail. Okay, good. So there's another way of saying things. So here, if I want to say again, if I want to say an object belongs to something, okay, or in English, if you want to say a tail of a mouse without specifying the mouse, okay, so a mouse tail, in Arabic it's the same structure, but you don't add al. So the difference between the translation between this and this is that if I want to translate a mouse tail, I would say ذيل فأر. ذيل فأر. While here I say ذيل الفأر. In both cases, they both ended with kasra, okay, at the end, meaning that they are mudaf ilayhi, okay, and the object that they own is ذيل. The only difference between these two sentences is what exactly do you want to say. if you're talking about a specific mouse or a specific thing and you want to attach a possession to it, you have to specify that thing by adding al, unless if it's already specified, like in case of Adil's book. Adil is a noun, a name, and a name in Arabic is defined. It's considered as defined and not ambiguous. So in this case, you really don't need to add al. Actually, you cannot add al. But if you're talking about an object, a non-human object that is really not a name, you would say, you would have to add al if you're talking about the specific object. If you're not talking about the specific object, you can take off al. But in English, the translation is a bit different. So ذيل الفأر is mouse's tail. ذيل فأر translates to a mouse tail. Okay, so I hope this is not too confusing for you. I tried my best to explain it. Next, so the main reason I'm talking about this lesson is to teach you to say that something is, or something belongs to someone. Now, we cannot do that without teaching you how to say something is mine, or his, or ours, yours. In Arabic, this is simple. Remember, I've talked just in this lesson about the pronouns that are suffix, right? The attached pronouns. You use them to say, if you want to say mine or our or yours or his or theirs, you use the same pronouns. You just have to use lam al-mulkiyya, lam al-mulkiyya, the L of possession. So if I want to say something is mine, I say li. Okay, if I want to say this is mine, in Arabic, this, هذا لي, هذا لي, or هذا لي, and if you continue, but usually just stop and say li, هذا لي, right? So how do you say this is his, or ours? The same way. What was the pronoun for نحن, for us, for we in Arabic? It would be na, right? You just add before it lam al-mulkiyya, means just a la, and this becomes lana, ours, or for us. Okay, هذا لي, هذا لنا, if you want to say it like that. And then the same applies for all the other adjectives, the other pronouns. So let's list them for fun. And maybe you want to test yourself. Do you remember these? If I want to say yours, it would be laka, for you, or yours. Laki, for you, or also yours. But here I'm talking about, or talking for a male singular, and here I'm talking for a female singular. Lakuma, lakuma, dual. Lakum, plural. Lakun, plural, but for just feminine. Laka, laki, lakuma, lakum, lakun, li, lana. I think these are pretty easy if you understand where they come from. Again, same for the third person pronouns. له لها لهما لهم لهن له for you or yours if not for you, for him or his. Okay, laha for her or actually hers. Lahuma theirs, but we're talking about dual. Lahum theirs, we're talking about three people or more that are all male or mixed gender. Lahun, we're talking that means for the theirs or for them. We're talking lahunna or lahun refers to theirs when we're speaking about a group of females. Okay. Li, lana, laka, laki, lakuma, lakum, lakun, lahu, laha, lahuma, lahum, lahun. This was today's lesson. I know it's really too much information, and I think you should practice them, memorize them, and hopefully in the coming lessons we're going to be using them in examples. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, you're welcome to leave your questions in the comment section, or better if you go to Facebook/homelang1 and ask me there. I'm usually always answering questions over here. Right? In any cases, please like this video and see you in the next lesson. Bye.